tonight at 10, more cases of coronavirus in San Antonio.
There are now 11. The CDC is monitoring the spread across the nation as the World Health Organization raises its threat assessment to very high.
Eyewitness News reporter Roxy Bustamante explains why these patients are no longer being treated at JBSA Lackland.
This is the Texas Center for Infectious Disease in San Antonio on Southeast Military Drive. It's the facility where 11 patients who have tested positive for the coronavirus are being housed.
They do not go to the hospital. They stay in TCID. That is an appropriate facility for watching and monitoring.
The other evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise ship will remain in quarantine at JBSA Lackland until Monday. Right now, Metro Health says the coronavirus is not spreading to the community. As of Friday, the 11 patients consist of one evacuee from Wuhan, China, one evacuee transferred from California to be closer to home here in Texas, and 9 evacuees from the Diamond Princess cruise. Metro Health officials say the 11 patients are experiencing flu-like symptoms and will stay at the TCID facility as long as they're contagious.
If they become symptomatic to the point where or their symptoms become serious, where they're having difficulty breathing or they need some additional technical support for that illness, then that's when we'll transport them to the hospital. But again, we haven't had to really do that.
Roxy joins us live from the northwest side. Roxy, has the risk of coronavirus changed for the average person?
No, there's still a low risk. Now, Aaron, when I spoke with Metro Health earlier today, they did tell me that doctors are trying to keep these patients comfortable and also are treating them for their symptoms. Any new information will be released by the CDC. Roxy Bustamante, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.